Welcome to Algebra for Success, where we're about to dive into a fundamental topic in algebra, linear equations. Understanding linear equations is like mastering the alphabet before reading a book. It's the essential foundation of algebra. Let's begin. Linear equations are mathematical sentences that express the relationships between variables in a straight line. These equations are simple yet powerful tools for solving everyday problems, from budgeting to predicting outcomes. Let's explore linear equations with examples and tips to set you on the path to algebraic success. A linear equation typically takes the form x plus b equals c, where a, b, and c are numbers, and x is the variable we're trying to solve for. Solving a linear equation involves a series of steps that help you find the value of the variable in the equation. Here's a step-by-step guide. 1. Identify the equation. Start by identifying the linear equation you want to solve. It typically has the form x plus b equals c, where a, b, and c are constants and x is the variable you want to solve for. 2. Isolate the variable x. Your goal is to isolate the variable x on one side of the equation. Begin by moving the constant term, the term without x, to the other side of the equation. You can do this by performing the opposite operation of what's currently connected to x. For example, if the equation is 3x plus 5 equals 11, subtract 5 from both sides to get 3x equals 11 minus 5. 3. Simplify. Simplify both sides of the equation by performing any necessary arithmetic operations. In our example, you have 3x equals 6. 4. Isolate x further. If x still has a coefficient, in this case 3, divide both sides of the equation by this coefficient to isolate x. In our example, divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 6 divided by 3, which simplifies to x equals 2. 5. Check your solution. Always verify your solution by substituting the found value of x back into the original equation. Make sure it satisfies the equation's conditions. In our example, if you substitute x with 2 in the equation, 3x plus 5 equals 11. You should get a true statement. 3 multiplied by 2 plus 5 equals 11, which is indeed correct. 6. Write the solution. Once you have verified that your solution is correct, write it down as your final answer. In our example, the solution is x equals 2. These steps provide a systematic approach to solving linear equations. Keep in mind that the same principles can be applied to more complex linear equations, which may involve multiple variables, coefficients, and constants. By following these steps, you can find the solution for x and apply this method to a wide range of mathematical and real-world problems. Let's take a look on some examples. Example 1. Consider the equation 2x plus 3 equals 7. Here, 2x represents 2 times the number x, and we're adding 3 to it. To solve for x, we want to isolate it on one side of the equation. The first step is to get rid of the constant on the left side, which is 3. We do this by subtracting 3 from both sides of the equation. 2x plus 3 minus 3 equals 7 minus 3 simplifies to 2x equals 4. Now we want to get x by itself, so we divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2. 2x divided by 2 equals 4 divided by 2 simplifies to x equals 2. Example 2. Let's look at a real-world scenario. You're planning to buy some books, and each book costs $10. You have $50 to spend. How many books can you buy? In this case, the linear equation is 10x equals 50, where x represents the number of books, 10 is the cost per book, and 50 is the budget. To solve this equation, you divide both sides by 10. 10x divided by 10 equals 50 divided by 10 simplifies to x equals 5. So you can buy 5 books with your $50. Here are 3 tips for success with linear equations. 1. Isolate the variable. The key to solving linear equations is to isolate the variable x on one side of the equation. You do this by performing inverse operations. For example, if you have plus 3, you subtract 3. If you have multiplied by 5, you divide by 5. 2. Maintain balance. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other to keep the equation balanced. 3. Check your solution. Always check your solution by substituting the value of x back into the original equation. It should make both sides of the equation equal. Linear equations are your entry into the world of algebraic problem solving. They are used in many practical scenarios, from budgeting to calculating distances and more. As you continue in this course, you'll find linear equations are just the beginning of your algebraic journey. In our next segment, we'll explore multi-step equations, where you'll expand your problem-solving skills to tackle even more complex mathematical challenges. Until then, practice your linear equation solving and remember that algebra is all about solving the mysteries of the real world. Keep practicing, keep learning, and you'll be well on your way to acing your algebra class. See you in the next segment.